If Dricus versus Hamza gets canceled, they will scramble to put together a marquee main event. We've seen it before, right? On like days' notice, weeks' notice. Does that same pressure exist? The tickets are already sold. Does that same pressure exist when they're not on pay-per-view, when their partner isn't selling the show on pay-per-view, when it's just on the same platform as UFC Fight Night 275?
Can you pause it,
The
Dave?
whole dynamic.
Okay. So yes, they'll scramble to still do it because you have a partner that is investing $7.7 billion into your product. So yes, they will still scramble. Otherwise, that's gonna damage that relationship. That's one. Two is, if you just cancel that main event without one side of it being on, you have to refund those tickets.
Refund the money.
You have to refund the money. You have to give the people the option to take their money back if both fighters on the main event are off the card. So yes, this look. This to me is fear mongering, and we get a lot of that these days on the internet. I think they would still look at $7.7 billion. They're going to do whatever they can to make these people happy. They're going to try their hardest, and they've got other avenues to make more money.
Oh, have they not had cards go bad even at the Apex, and they've done everything they can to scramble to get a new main event stuff? They're not going to change their business model of what they do and how they do it based upon now they're with the CBS Paramount deal. That's not going to change.
No, there is a little bit that does concern me that it may change a tiny bit. The CBS model, because we've been on CBS, and that model scares me a tiny bit because they only like to have that 3-hour window. Like it's a 2.5 to 3, or like 2.25.
Normally they would try to do a 2-hour window.
Yeah, and so
it needs to be longer.
And it needs to be longer. That's one. Two is, when they had the 2-hour window, they only wanted 3 fights or 4 fights. If it was 2 title fights, it would only be 3 fights. If it was 1 title fight, they would do 4 fights. Are they going to get away from that?
Yes, because if there's one thing that the UFC has shown and Dana has showed, he does not allow the company that he is going to partner with, because that's the way he looks at it. And it is, he's partnering with his promotion and their media production, basically, as far as putting it on the tube. He's never acquiesced to, okay, well, we do it our way. He always says, nope, we do it our way. And that's the way it's going to be. And we're not going to change. That has never, ever, ever happened where he's changed. And so he's not going to change. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's nothing that's going to change with this.
Absolutely not. He's like, look, my product and what I've produced and what I give all the other business partners we've had before has been successful. And the proof is in the pudding. That's why you're paying me $7.7 billion to make the right calls.
And so do you think that they're going to give him the 3 to 3.5 hour window? Of course they are.
Absolutely. They're going to use their same production, their same people they always use.
Always.
They're not gonna change anything. Because let's be honest, when Strikeforce was with Showtime and CBS, they used to cut up the card. They used to put fighters where they wanted to. They used to tell them who they could use. Like it was
all the time. They took the matchmaker for Strikeforce would bring a card and have to show it to the Showtime people, and they would have to approve it. And many times they didn't.
No, they cut it up.
Oh yeah. And it was an absolute calamity. And that actually did happen with Dana and Showtime when the UFC bought Strikeforce, because Showtime still had, and they said, oh no, we get to have, a say. And he goes, you're going to have a very short say.
Yeah.
And that, that happened. So he's been there, and there's no way that he's not going to have it to the exact way that he knows I need this much time and we're going to put on this many fights.
It's about the pace. I think the UFC does a really good job of pacing their fights. They understand the gap they need in between. They understand how, to slide Megan O'Leary in there for this amount of time, to throw it back, and do a working man with the people at the desk, whatever it is. They know how to use their time wisely. Go ahead and carry on with the Ariel thing.
Is going to change. And oh, by the way, if we are in fact killing pay-per-view, and that's what they said, that's it. It's dead. It ain't coming back. In 7 years, you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. That's it. We're done. We're out of the pay-per-view business. And the UFC was the last commodity left. The last commodity left that was a consistent pay-per-view draw, if you will. Like, yes, the number is dwindling. A lot of that, we don't know if the viewership dwindled because a lot of people were pirating, but the buys were dwindling because it was a lot easier to pirate. But now you can't go back. In 7 years, you can't decide you want to do this differently and go back to the old way. Once you've already told people that you don't have to pay anymore and you've touted the fact that we want to save you money, you cannot go back. So it's very fascinating to see the trickle-down effect. The idea.
Okay, so you can go back.
I was going to say, yes, they can.
You can. You definitely can go back, but you're gonna have to deliver something that they've never seen before. You know, it's gonna have to be on the White House lawn. It's gonna have to be on, you know, on the platform of a what are those aircraft carriers? It's gonna have to be something that has never been done before, and that's what you're gonna have to do. Like if you were to say, "Hey, we're having an event at the Sphere for the first time," and we did, people would tune in. Yeah, you know, and that's what you're gonna get. Like, yes, pay-per-view can be put back. It can be put back in the bottle. Yeah, and I'm not saying it's wise. I don't see them doing more than one a year. A huge like New Year's Eve. I'm just throwing the one out that they do in Japan. Like if it was a huge New Year's Eve card, which I don't think the UFC would do, but I'm simply saying like a year of the end, like, you know, champ versus champ, a huge card. It'd only be once a year. It'd be like their version of a WrestleMania. True. That's it. And it's gotta have to make sense with the talent and the fighters that are matching up, and you've got an undefeated guy going against somebody else who's undefeated coming up, and then you've got, you know, these other fighters that are extremely interested. There's something there. But to sit there, like I said, this to me that felt a little bit more like fear mongering in terms of, and everything that he said in that seemed like fear mongering to me, because the UFC is sure maybe they're going to the CBS platform and Paramount platform. Because they're trying to make it more affordable. They probably got tired. I think a major part of it, they got tired of being pirated, you know, for their pay-per-views, losing a ton of money, and they're guaranteed this money now. I don't think anything, like you said, is going to change for their product. It's going to stay the same. You're going to have a great product. It's going to be a great product. Everyone kept saying like, oh, well, this product is like, as of lately, the cards have been shit. Look, as of lately, the cards have been fantastic. There was some moments in there where the cards were shit, but based on the fact that the fighters just weren't delivering either. There was moments where the fighters were not delivering. On top of that, you know, there was no name value. And a lot of people just tune those cards out because there's no name value. I'm one of those culprits that does that every once in a while. I'm like, man, I'm not watching that card. There's nobody on there. I don't even know half the guys on the field. We watch the damn fights every week.
Every week.
Casual at home is like, okay, I don't know anybody on this damn card. I'm not watching it. So I don't think that's going to change. Like the fight, it's up to the fighters to deliver, which they'll continue to do their best, and it's up to the promotion to do a good job of pumping them up and promoting them. But the cream's got to rise to the top. You got to try to be a star. You got to get on that mic and say something. Don't just say, "Hey, whatever the UFC wants." That's one thing that I agree with Uncle Chael. When you get that chance to get the mic in your hand, don't waste that opportunity to say, "Yeah, whatever UFC and Dana White wants." My dumbass did that in my very first fight in the UFC. Hey, I'm just here to fight, and you know, if whoever Dana wants.
There wasn't a whole lot of talkers back when you first were in the UFC. So
I know.
Okay.
The fucked up thing was, John, is I was a fucking talker outside the cage.
Yeah, no shit.
He gave me the mic, and I was like, "Yeah, just be a company man."
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah,
I'll fight anybody Dana puts in front of me.
Yeah, stupid is, stupid does. Like a box of chocolates.
That's it.
Anyways. So if you guys use that link down below in the descriptions, they'll send you a bonus package for every single purchase. That's compliments of the Wayne In podcast. So hope you guys enjoy that.